Hey guys, Mr. Happy here and welcome to Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn 101. This episode, going to be talking about the Bowl of Embers, the level 20 main story mission against Ifrit. I want to talk about this because a lot of people are going to get to test this soon. We do have an extended Phase 3 coming up and Phase 4 will be in a few weeks. So this is one of those fights where you really have to know the mechanics of it, otherwise your entire party will wipe. Please be courteous to those in your party who may not know the mechanics of the fight. Not everybody goes out and researches the fight, so if you do know the mechanics, just calmly make sure that your entire party is aware of it as well, so that way you can ensure you all get it done very easily. It'll only take a couple of minutes, guys. So when the fight starts, you'll start in this little blue circle. It's the same way as the dungeons, except that this cutscene is significantly longer than the dungeon cutscenes. This one's about 3 minutes long, so either wait for your party members to finish up the cutscene because they've never seen it before, or if you're one of the people watching it, if you're considering that it might be too long to make your party wait, or maybe you don't care, just go ahead and skip it. All right. Once you do that, the tank is going to want to run directly behind Ifrit so that the tank's back is facing the wall and Ifrit's back is facing the rest of the party. This is so that the two moves that Ifrit does won't really mess up your party's positioning or make anyone take unnecessary damage. From 100% to 75%, Ifrit will do two moves. The first one is a giant AoE explosion. This doesn't do a lot of damage, however, it does knock everyone back. So with your back being against the wall as the tank, it'll ensure that you don't get knocked around the arena at all, and Ifrit's position stays the same. Obviously, everyone else will have to get back into their positions, but that's not too difficult as compared to Ifrit running all over the place. The other reason is that Ifrit has a giant conal breath that he does in front of him that will do a lot of damage to anyone other than the tank that gets hit. So again, nobody stand in front of Ifrit, and just make sure your back is to the wall, tank, and you will do perfectly fine. At 75%, Ifrit will start doing a move called Eruption. It's a very simple move. All he'll do is he'll start casting Eruption. Cracks will appear below any player other than the main tank, and after about a second or two, he'll finish casting the spell and it'll blow up in a giant area. Please keep in mind that the cracks kind of encompass a larger area than the explosion itself actually takes up, so even though it might look like you're out of it, you might not get hit by it. Please keep in mind though, just make sure you keep running until it actually explodes. It doesn't do damage to you. Also, tanks, you can actually stun this. So Marauders, if your stun is off its global cooldown, use it for this. And Gladiators, if you feel like waiting until he does this move to stun, feel free. This is the only other move he'll do until 50%, but 50% is where people really have some trouble with the fight. He will summon an Infernal Fetter in the middle of the arena. Now, in this screenshot, ignore what I'm doing here. I'm the tank and I ran up to DPS it. I really only wanted a screenshot of it, but I figured while I was there I might as well help. Don't do this because Ifrit will knock everyone back as it is ready, and the last thing you need is him running all over the place. He might breathe all over the rest of the party, and you really don't want that unnecessary extra damage being done to anyone. Just keep your back to the wall, keep Ifrit in the same position that you had him the whole time, and I just recommend that the healer throw a dot or maybe a nuke or two on there. Your tank's not going to be taking massive amounts of damage, so just make sure, DPS and healer, that you just make sure you get the Fetter down. If you don't destroy the Fetter in 30 seconds, Ifrit will use Hellfire. Hellfire will instantly KO everybody in the party if the Infernal Fetter is not destroyed, so it's very important that you get it destroyed. When you do destroy the Infernal Fetter, however, he will still do Hellfire. It will just not instantly KO everyone. I recommend that everybody group up towards the center really quick for a quick AoE heal before running back to your positions. The tank, again, run back to your position over on the edge of the wall where you had him in phases 1 and 2. He will now do sort of a pattern when it comes to his moves. He'll always do a TP move, Eruption, another TP move, and then a move called Radiant Plumes. Guys, I recommend that everybody be on the outskirts of the arena when he, after a couple of seconds after he does Hellfire. That way you can avoid this move. He will summon 4 giant fiery plumes in the center of the arena, and they will explode. This will pretty much instantly KO anyone it hits. I don't know why I messed up my speech right there. It'll pretty much instantly KO anyone it hits, so just don't get hit by it. But then you have two choices as a tank when he does the second phase. He will now summon the Radiant Plumes along the outer edge of the circle. You have two options. One is you can move Ifrit. You can actually position your back to the rest of the party, so you'll essentially flip him around. That way you don't get hit by it. I personally recommend that since it's only a level 20 fight, that you just pop a defensive cooldown and that you take the damage head on. Just get healed by it. Maybe if you have second one from Pugilist, just you really don't want to mess up the DPS because you're probably going to cause people to take unnecessary damage if you do it this way. So just keep your back to the wall, pop a defensive cooldown, and hopefully your healers can keep you up through it. Other than that, the fight's really much just rinse and repeat after that. Just make sure that people are avoiding the Radiant Plumes and you will be fine. Keep in mind, this is not the last time you'll encounter Ifrit. There will be harder mechanics in the hard and extreme versions of the fight at level 50 respectively. So anyway, guys, if you found this video useful, please like, favorite, subscribe, and share, especially if you know people who don't really know much about the Ifrit fight. Share this knowledge with as many people as you can so we can avoid people being, you know, rude and mean and just being hateful towards each other for maybe not understanding the mechanics. We're trying to keep the Final Fantasy community nice as a whole. It's how it always has been, and that's how we want to keep it. Also, check out my Facebook at www.facebook.com/MrHappy1227, where you can go and you can ask me questions, request videos, pick at my brain a little bit about the game. It's just a fun little place where a bunch of people, we get together and we discuss the game. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Tune in next time where I will be doing my macros part 2 video. So anyway, guys, until then, take care. Have a good day.